Hi everyone, it's Tasleem here, and if you watched my last video, I shared about some insecurities and about how it's crazy the way that we tend to really put other people high on like our list of people that we admire and look up to and want to be like. But most of the time, or oftentimes, we do not put ourselves on that list, not anywhere close. And in that video, I was sharing how I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to try to really enjoy my own company, take myself out on a date, and really live into the energy of love, but not just loving other people, but self-love, and how magnetic that can be. And I want to tell you, it worked. You will not believe how much it worked. I don't even know, like, it's not that I had a particular agenda of how I was going to measure if it was going to work, but my idea was just that I was taking myself out on a date. I got dressed up. I went to a restaurant that I had never been to before, and I was really excited, and I just wanted to make sure that I knew that I deserved it. And I was wavering on that idea. I was still working up towards that, but it paid off in so many different ways, because when I arrived to the restaurant, I didn't know what I wanted to order. Everything looked so good, and I decided to order salmon, but really inside I was like, there's so many things that I want to try on here, and that would be really expensive. Like, the salmon alone is going to be pretty costly, but I was like, it's okay. I'm taking myself out on a date. I'm worth it. And strangely enough, because I had this energy of like loving myself and just enjoying my own company, I ironically magnetized other people who wanted to enjoy my company as well. And what I mean by that is that there were a group of 3 guys, I'm going to say gentlemen because they definitely were, sitting at the table behind me, next to me. And I kind of leaned over to one of them and said, hey, do you know anything about the live music here tonight? And because I knew that there was live music, but I didn't know exactly what kind of music. And I was feeling a bit flirty and feeling good, but it was like I was also flirting with myself, like not just with this person sitting next to me. But that's the crazy thing, is that when you get more into like the self-love thing, like you get kind of turned on by not just other people, but by your own self, like your own ideas, your own little, idiosyncrasies that you might think other people, like in the past you might have thought, oh, probably other people are annoyed by it. But really, once you start stepping into like feeling into your own energy and your own uniqueness, and you start liking these little idiosyncrasies. And because of that, this one guy answered me and said, oh, well, I thought that you were going to be our entertainment tonight. So I was like, oh, I wish. And I started playing along, and crazy enough, they were 3 guys at a 4 chair table, a 4 placements. And they said, why don't you just come and sit with us? And I was like, really? And I didn't act like, oh no, you wouldn't want to be with me, like I'm going to be bad company. I made sure that I was like very sitting into like, yeah, I'm good company. But I also wasn't like, yeah, of course you're going to ask me to sit at your table. I was very appreciative and very, um, yeah, I feel like appreciative is the right word, because I was just in gratitude for being able to take myself out, for being, able to feel into this better feeling energy about myself, and then that being reciprocated by these guys that, as much as I wanted to spend some time with myself, they were like excited to spend time with me. And I equally really wanted to spend time with them, because these guys were incredible. They were from Toronto. They were so funny, so interesting to talk to. All three had completely different cultural backgrounds. And it's like we laughed about things, we talked about deep things, we were, getting excited about the music. And then the best part, well, not the best part, but one of the great parts was that I hadn't gotten my salmon yet. And I was asking them what they ordered and what they were eating. And they're like, oh my God, the food here is so good. And basically, they said that the condition of me joining them at their table was that I needed to eat the way that they do. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what that means, but sure, I'm in. And they said, okay, it means that we all share our dishes. And I was like, seriously? I was just sitting at my table thinking about all the different choices that were on the menu that I would love to try, but that would be too much food, too much money, too much for my stomach. And here I got exactly what I asked for, in not too much, because I could share my salmon. They had like these amazing lasagna dishes. There were, or like pasta dishes plus seafood and different kind of meats. And oh my God, I literally tried everything that I wanted to try at that restaurant, and not just a little bit. Like, they really were generous about sharing their portions with me. And then my favorite I was about to give it away. One of my favorite desserts is tiramisu. But I did earlier see someone eating this delicious chocolate mousse, and I was so wanting to have dessert. And when the waitress came over to tell us about the desserts, I was like, oh my God, I really want to have the chocolate mousse. And I said, well, wait a second, are you guys having dessert? And they're like, no, 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 we're full, like the guys said. But then I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to have dessert by myself then. And then they were such gentlemen that they just wanted to make me really happy, that they said, okay, we're going to have dessert. You order the chocolate mousse, we'll order the tiramisu. And I was like, oh my God. Honestly, this is not even about the food. Yeah, they were amazing guys, but it's not even just about the guys. It's about, I could have still ended up sitting by myself, but what it's about is that the energy of what I was giving off, I was attracting. And that could have even ended up with me still sitting by myself, but I would have enjoyed my own company. But this became a bonus, and they, actually voiced that they were really enjoying my company, and we loved the food. We're going to keep in touch. Me and one of the guys are going to keep in touch. And the crazy thing is that they left early because they were going to catch a flight back to Toronto the next morning. But I decided to stick around because the music was still it hadn't quite started yet. And so I stuck around a bit. There was music and dancing. And once I got onto the dance floor, I was nervous because even walking a couple blocks to this restaurant from where I was earlier was difficult. My leg is still really weak. And I was struggling even to come into the restaurant. Like, I was walking crooked and nervous, like, because it's such a fancy restaurant. I was wearing a nice dress, but I wasn't walking as if I was like holding my own very well in the dress. And even when I was sitting with the guys, I don't know if they're gonna ever see this video, but if they do, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just admit it. Even when I was sitting with the guys, there was a point where I needed to use the bathroom, but the bathroom was like down some stairs at the back of the restaurant. And I would have had to walk, not only get up and walk across to the back of the restaurant, but then down the stairs. And I just didn't want to take away. So there's still insecurities left in me, but there's a point to this. I didn't want to take away this like good energy feeling of me just feeling very balanced and, you know, in my seat and balanced and whatever. And I was still judging myself a little bit, but I was better. I was getting better, enjoying my own company and then enjoying theirs. And what ended up happening was when I got to the dance floor, I was like, okay, I could barely walk in here, but there's nobody around me that I was just having dinner with, and I don't know anybody in here. And the music was good. It was like some Latin, some kind of rock, some Italian, and then some bachata came on and some cumbia. And it was sad for me at first because I was like, oh, my body really wants to do this, but it's not. How can it? Because it wasn't able to walk a few blocks. And there were people that were like doing like a ballroom kind of salsa on the dance floor. So there were couples, like they had come as a couple. So I was the only one there by myself on the dance floor, but I was like, no, I'm still going to continue this, like enjoying my own company. And the crazy thing is, I keep saying crazy. There were a lot of crazy things that happened that night. That what happened was I was moving to cumbia by myself, and I felt more in balance and more centered and more able to hold my own dancing. Okay, I wasn't dancing with a partner, but dancing on my own than I was walking. And I thought, wow, this is so curious to me. Like, this makes me so curious about our bodies and about learned behaviors and how our body doesn't forget things. Like, my body doesn't forget that it was a dancer, or maybe that it is a dancer. I maybe never formally learned how to walk. I just kind of tried to pick it up, but I've lost that in a few different ways, and that's been triggering for me and kind of humbling for me. But getting onto the dance floor and hearing the music, I don't know if it's the music, if it's my body, if it's the power of dance. I'm sure it's all of those things. But I could dance better than I could walk. And I felt this like, it made me think of, some of you guys might have seen the meme that is out there on Facebook and stuff on the internet, that says, you know, like when you're walking across the street, there's a sign, don't walk and then walk. But instead of don't walk and then walk, it says don't walk, dance. And that's the title of this video. Is it's like something was telling me, okay, you can't walk, it's okay, don't walk, dance. Don't walk, dance. This just blew my mind. Can you tell I was trying to find a different way of saying this? It was so crazy. I didn't want to say it again, but no, it really blew my mind. And it, like blew my sense of my body awareness. Like, I was like, how is it that my body is remembering how to do, like, it was basic moves, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like, you know, doing all these spins and like going crazy on the dance floor, nothing at all like that. But my body was automatically remembering how to do some cumbia steps and how to do bachata, but it's forgotten how to just like walk in balance in a straight line on the street. And I was like, maybe I just don't walk in a straight line in balance on the street. Maybe I dance. Like, maybe when those street signs come on and they say walk, I find a way to dance across the street in my own way, in my own rhythm, in my own speed. Like, I don't know, but I want to say thank you to dance. I want to say thank you to allowing me to change my energy that night into like a welcoming, self-love kind of energy that I was saying in that last video is not selfish. It actually opened me up to being able to meet these other people, and they got to get to know me more. I got to get to know them more. And it opened up something in me and my relationship with my body again, and my body just saying, it's okay. We've got this. We've got this because we've got dance. We had dance in the past, and it's not forgotten. It's still there. So don't walk. If you can't walk, if you don't feel like walking, if walking is not inspiring you on some days, even if you don't have a medical condition, even if it's just, I don't know, it feels a bit boring on some days, dance. Dance in your own way across the street, across your living room, to your bathroom, I don't know, anywhere, any place, anytime, just dance. Thanks for listening to this video, and thanks for the likes on the last video. I got so many views on that one. I was like, ooh, I got to make sure I send lots of love and lots of gratitude for that. Thank you so much.